Muy buenas noches to everyone. I hope everybody's doing well and as always enjoying family. Again, gracias Tony for allowing me to get on your platform, Stories Written by a Current Prisoner, to share my story. And before I start, como siempre, quiero extender, saludo y un cordial abrazo to everyone. Thank you for you guys' kind thoughts and prayers. Gracias. Okay, for this story, I want to get a little bit on how there is a lot of cases. There is camaradas that come out here that they basically come out here sick with all the BS that goes on in the system or in the structure between or amongst us, that they get here to Mexico and basically just take it as what it is, a fresh start without having to drop out and or step back and just start new. You got deported, you're in a different territory, and you start fresh. Wishing all reality, it's kind of the choice that makes more sense or is the correct one, after you sit back and really go through the struggles that one should make when you come out this way. I mean, you went through all the headaches and all the pain of and you maintain strong, so there's no need to continue, especially in a spot where we're not liked, and even though it's our land, is we don't belong. But without losing track, again, we're in this penal called Becarranza. As I stated before, there's quite a lot of camaradas in this penal, it was basically there was a lot of solid camaradas, and then there was those that for some reason, if you've been around, you kind of like got a feeling if what they were telling you was true, because you're used to dissecting and analyzing, but you're in a situation where you can't ask for paperwork because for one, they don't give it, and two is you just got to take a person for his palabra, period. So there were those individuals that by their actions and by the way they express themselves, or even when they told you they were in a certain spot and one way or another you knew who was there, it just didn't make sense to you. But again, you weren't in a situation to question anything. It was just basically you felt someone was shady, and you felt it was going to lead to you finding something out. It's best leave it alone, because if you find out the minute you know it's one way, then you're going to have to act. I don't know if I make sense of that. But, in this story, I want to talk about one of those camaradas, that he did about 9 years in the state. And he came out this way and just started pushing but by himself, started opening doors and he started doing his thing. His name was Wilber, or they call him Pelon from Wilmas. I believe he was from Westside Wilmas. Now, when he got there, he showed his respect, Hey, you vatos sureños, órale, mucho gusto, ta, 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 so and so. And he didn't have to, because first and foremost, the vato didn't have no tattoos, And he had already blended in with the paisa look. Well, not the paisa look, but, it certainly wasn't our look, So he could have stayed in the shadows if he wanted to. But, again, there was those Vatos that right away you knew when they had something to hide and when they didn't, for simple actions like this. And anyways, when he introduced himself to us, he was real clear, like, hey, I left that in California. I dispensing, and if I could help out in any way, of course, you guys are my gente, and I'm gonna help you out. But other than that, I started doing things for the Beltranes, and that's where my loyalty's at now. I know a lot of people that are gonna hear they're gonna start like, damn, pinche vincacharcos, or baja bandera, or whatever you want to call them. But you know, just sit down and really think about it. It's just, it makes sense. Let's just put it like that. There's a lot of struggles you go through just for just for trying to plant flag here, where in reality we have no control in Mexico. We have no say so. We're not liked because there's certain apples that come, paisas that come out this way, and they start, woofing out their neck, talking about when they're in Cali, we take advantage of them. Just those little comadre vieja stuff. But then there's those vatos from the cartels that never been in the States, so they just roll with what they're being told. But again, dispensa for losing track. But Wilber, he had a lot of pull. He had a lot of pull, but he was just real clear with us. Like he stated, come see me, un chanate, un cigarro, whatever. I'm here to converse with you guys, and if I have it, you guys have it. But on a different note, if push comes to shove, I work for Paca, and I'm gonna stay loyal to that because it's where I'm at. So there was those of us that understood it, especially going through all the headaches that up until this point I have been going through. But then again, there was those that didn't. For example, the Pilis that were there. To be more exact, you know, the Pili O, he wasn't really happy with it. But again, he had to bite his tongue, and just take it as it was presented. Anyways, Wilbur, he was there the whole time we were there. And he was firmes, to the point where he had a couple restaurants. He opened up a couple restaurants and stuff, and we had open restaurant to where if we needed some food or something, he had told him to go ahead and give it to us, and he would later square it off with us. So it wasn't like he was backing out completely from us. It's just, you just have to, I don't know, be in that spot to kind of understand where he was coming from. And but again, there was those that they weren't happy with it. They felt that he had a power in that organization, so they should be entitled to be kicked down. They still wanted those same obligations from a camarada that a camarada has in Cali. Which, if you're under them and you're pushing their movement in Mexico, because even their movement in Mexico is a complete different one than the one we're pushing in Cali, then it's understandable. But when a camarada is telling you off the gate, I wasn't in the mix of politics in there, and I came to Mexico, and I sure as hell don't want to be in the mix down here where we got the losing end of the stick. But he felt that you know Wilbur could actually get the open stuff and bless him with it. And that's one thing he had made it clear too. I'll help you out with food, I'll help you out with cosmetics, but to get high is just not gonna happen. So they were angry, and mainly because that's one of the biggest nerves, that you could touch. they're looking at it like it's a free plug to, a darle de comer a la vena, and it's being complete cut off. So it's like, you're hurting them where it hurts. So I saw it in the sense that, like I stated, my thing, I used to do tacas, I used to tag the homies up. My thing has always been, cultura. I love cultura, or wicked work. So I remember I was actually doing a sleeve on a homie they called Bago from Anaheim that was there, and just to kill time. It wasn't like I would ever charge a camarada or anything. It was just like, come on, fool, sit down and let me kill some time. Doing artwork on you. I never did anything outside the dorm that I wasn't supposed to. For example, tag those type of artwork, or those letters, or anything that I knew that it wasn't my place to tattoo them. It was just complete, just artwork, man. You know. But anyways, while we're sitting there tattooing on it, we just chopping it up. We get Tanate and we went about. But every time Wilber's name came up, I saw it in the Pili's face, that he just wasn't taking it. Now, I don't know how to really explain this, right? It's just cause understand in my last video I said that, was he was a cool Pili, but as every Pili, they have that ego, that pride, or that I'm superior type of thing, that you can't mess with, and I think that's just gonna be impossible to get out of them. It don't matter how much of a firme Pili you really think they are, and anyways, Wilbur, he had a he had a carnal. He had a carnal, and I don't know how far they lived. I really don't know the harbor area like that, besides I know the neighborhoods, I know the area, and but like for me to tell you streets and everything, I don't know none of that. I'm from Northern California, and but anyways, his young carnal, he uh he belonged to San Pedro. He was from the barrio in San Pedro, and I don't know how that works, but I guess the bato, he was with it in the sense that he followed program, and he was a lot more in the mix than his older brother, Wilbur. But he ended up catching one of those misdemeanors that take you to county, and usually you get kicked out within the first couple weeks or month at the most. But the minute he hit county, the vato already had a green light, and he ended up getting booked, He ended up getting booked, and I think when he got out, he already had a green light on the streets, from La M, and his own neighborhood took him out. I don't know if there's guys on here that are from this area, and they used to call him nah, not vago, not travieso, wicked, wicked. Anyways, he ended up getting out and he got smoked. Now, everything was still the same. The one that even told us this happened was Wilber himself. But within a month, we start seeing he stopped coming around, period. It was like, it went from him coming down to Secu, check paisas, and to not coming around at all. So he was over there in 4 block. He was in 4-3, I believe. So me just having time on my hands or just not having nothing to do, because I used to try to mind my business. I went up there, to visit him, and when I went up there, he straight up told me, like, look, I know these Billies, they got mad because of the way I came in here, and I can't really pinpoint which Billy it was, or else, I would sincerely have these people move on them, because they took out my carnal with no reason, and but I don't know which one it is, because out of respect, when I met them and I pulled to the side to them, I gave him my first last name, the CDC number I had over there, so I don't know who it was, but regardless, I don't want to bring that negative around you guys, you guys have nothing to do with this, so I just staying away, at the end of the day, it's just I'm a part of something else, so I always been a I always been a dumb person with words, especially when it came to comforting words. It's just something I was never raised with, so it's been something real difficult for me to express them. But in a sense, I told him I understood, and I thought it was dirty, and but even though I fell under the flag, that we both knew that it was different gente, different minds. They have their own program, and they run ours, but we can't touch theirs. Basically that was it. So he understood, and he said he respected that. And basically we just took bicycles and just said, take care of Vato, and that's it. And I always tried to, I was out here wiggling with these people. I was rubbing elbows, doing missions. So I kind of really wanted to know which one was the Billy that did it, for that same reason, that if he was vindictive like that, that he could actually be vindictive back towards me, when it came like, you know, my main worry, on to be sincere at this time, was my neighborhood, It's like, I don't got no brothers, or I have a brother and a sister that's in Cali, and but they don't game bang. So my worriness was always, with my neighborhood getting green light, or especially us being from Northern California, they could just simply put it out there and it wasn't going to be questioned that much, But it was I came to an understanding fairly recently, fairly recently, that it was that was one of those that he really had two mascaras, He had one where he was in front being a camarada, you know, when one knew what he was, but he still played the part of a firme carnal, like, camarada, and but he had that other where he used to snake from the back, and he had that card. So it's just, how the reason I'm saying this is for, we always talked about me calling them tecatos. For me, not keeping my palabra, once someone said in the comments towards them, and basically for me being so stupid on staying so loyal for so long, But this is exactly what I mean when I say these things, They're a bunch of snakes, man. They could be cool, they can be hee hee wah wah, and at the same time, they're striking up a kite with your name on it behind your back, putting people that surrounds you in jeopardy, but you are good asses, so they're not gonna do it directly, they're gonna do it snakely, They're gonna hurt you, but they ain't gonna let you know they're hurting you. And it goes this about all of them, man. And I found out this because recently, fairly recently, for those that don't know, O got killed over there in Valle Imperial. and it was the same organization, and it was there's this big old power struggle happening right now. For those that are in the known, they know that it's happening right now, which is in the IE, but all belong to the side of well, what one thought was Toto and Daryl, and all them against the SD card and a couple other canales from LA, and a lot of things they started questioning. Oh, for that reason, it's considered politicking, being two-faced like that, acting one way and doing another thing. You're politicking. You know, you're not being a soldado. You're not being a man. It's the truth. And then at the same time, from all these people helping Toro out, Toro decided he didn't need their help. He didn't ask for their help. So he jumped chips. He started going against them, and he called a hit on O, and he jumped with the LA and the Ayalas, which is, I don't know, I find it funny how for a long time it was always Toro, Daryl, Turi, all these guys together as one, moving forward in the clica, and you knew about it, and it was I eat this, I eat that, and more money, more open doors to more power, and I'll change up that quick. And for those that know my story from the start, my respects to Toro as far as I knew him, I used to think he was a cool ass big homie. But this is something real new, and like I stated, something fairly new that just happened, And I just thought it was messed up, that even though someone had the respect to tell him straight up, we're not in the territory, I respect you, I'm here if I could support you. But that wasn't enough. You're not giving me dope to get high every day, so I'm gonna play the hee hee part in front of you, and at the same time, I'm gonna start striking kites up there to hurt you from a different angle, though. I'm not gonna be obvious about being me, cause let's be sincere. I'm in a prison. I'm in a Mexican prison. I'm scared because your organization has power here. It's just something that I seen funny. But it was something that I wasn't going to talk about Wilber in my story. But like I stated, something fairly new that just happened with O, and a lot of things came out to light. And I thought I would share it with you. That because it had me dumbfounded for a minute. For a lot of reasons, Toro and O, and he didn't just do this with Wilbur. I'll just leave it like that, But it's not my place to talk about the other. My experience was with Wilbur, and I'll leave it at that. But anyways, I just wanted to stop in, send my love to everyone, and just hope everybody's staying blessed. I hope everybody during the holidays you're able to give your family a little chance, to just at least put everything on pause and concentrate on them, Just show them or allow yourself to have that moment, Christmas ain't about gifts, it ain't about nothing, man. It's about treasuring that moment of getting together as family and having a peaceful time, a loving time, and I hope everybody has one this year. Today is not a good day for me, but I'm here with you all, and thank you all for hearing me, and I hope you guys rest well. Por favor, stay true to yourself and loyal to your loved ones. God bless and good night.